My sheep hear my voice, and the stranger they will not follow, but will flee from him, for they know not the voice of strangers.
Hi boys and girls, it's good to see you again. Have you ever prayed for something you wanted? Can I get a present pet? Can I get a Technic Lego Lamborghini? I want an iPhone 13. I want a baby doll Alexis. You may hear adults praying for things like, can I get a new house or a new car? I want a relationship. Oh, I wish I could play the lotto or win the Mega Millions. This is not a lesson on whether these things are right or wrong to have. This is a lesson on that our Chief Shepherd is not a genie. Do you know what a genie is? It seems to be a good thing to be able to make a wish and have the genie grant your wish. Let's watch a short video on how a genie works.
As your genie, I shall grant you 3 wishes. Choose wisely.
Can you make me a prince?
Let's see. Say the magic words.
Genie, I wish for you to make me a prince.
You get 3 wishes. They must begin with rubbing the lamp and saying, I wish. Got it?
Wow, that seemed like fun, didn't it? Alright, boys and girls, it's time to break some things down. Most of us grew up being taught that when we receive things we feel we want or feel we need, that's a blessing. Once we get a toy we want, wow, what a blessing. Once our parents get a new car they expected, wow, that's a blessing. Once I received a toy that could talk a few years ago. It would call out the name of another shepherd other than Yah.
"O my queen," said the royal sorcerer to Hatshepsut, "with this amulet, you and your descendants are endowed by the goddess Isis."
She called out an Egyptian god. In the Bible, in the book of Exodus 20 verses 2, it tells us,
Do not have any other shepherd other than Yah, your chief shepherd.
In Exodus 23 verses 13, Yah tells us,
Do not let the name of another shepherd come from your mouth.
well, that toy was doing just the opposite of the instructions that Yah, our chief shepherd, has given us. Now, was that a good toy to have? I have seen adults buy cars and houses they really wanted. They had it for a short period of time, and then the payments became really hard to pay. They ended up getting a second job to help pay for it, then a third. They really worked so much, and there was no time for Yah, the chief shepherd. Now, was that car or house worth it? Anything coming to us outside the chief shepherd turns us into a slave. Working 3 jobs cannot be easy, especially when the person ended up losing the car or the house. It seemed like a blessing at first, but then it turned the person into a slave. There's a spiritual lesson in the Bible about a boy who wished for something that he wasn't ready for. Let's see what happened.
There lived a man with 2 sons. One day, the younger son came to him and said,
Father, could you give me my inheritance?
Let me think about it.
So the man thought for a few days and decided to give his inheritance to his 2 sons and split it evenly between them. When the son received his share of the money, he thought to himself,
Now that I have so much money, I can move someplace else and have some fun. Then I can get back to working.
So he left with every little thing he had. He had no plans of returning. Now that he had grown up, he wanted to spend all the money and do whatever that he felt like. No one to tell him what to do. Before leaving, he did not even think about the things he left behind. He left a big farm with many hired men, his family, and most importantly, his old father, who had immense trust in him to give him the money. His father was very sad and disappointed in his younger son. He missed him too. While the younger son was gone, he spent all the money that he had received from his father. He spent it all on things he did not need, and he never thought of saving. Days went by, and the place where he lived became very poor, and so did he. There wasn't even enough food for everyone, and hence the food was expensive. It was difficult for the young boy to even buy food for himself, as he had spent almost all his money. Soon, he was in deep trouble. He had no money, no house to live in, and also nothing to eat. So he got a job of feeding pigs. He was so hungry that he tried eating the food that was supposed to feed the pigs. One day, his master saw him eating the food for their pigs.
If I see you doing this again, you will surely lose your job.
That night, as he walked down the street to go back home, his stomach growled. He was so hungry. He saw a group of people walking down the road. He went up to them and asked for some money, but they too didn't have any to share. He went home and fell asleep on an empty stomach. Next morning, he woke up and thought to himself,
When I lived with my father, even the men who work in our farm had more food. And now, I am the one starving to death.
he decided to go home and seek forgiveness from his father. The son went back home, and the father was very happy to see him. He threw his arms around him and kissed him. He fell to his father's feet and cried.
Wow, did you see that? The boy got all the money from his father, but was not ready for that responsibility. Did you see how it can cause trouble getting something Yah has not prepared us for? Have you seen a rat on a wheel? Is that rat moving forward in life? Is that rat gonna ever get that cheese? Let's look at this horse. Is that horse gonna ever get to that carrot? Look! He's going faster! This is what happens to us when we get things we want that wasn't given to us by Yah, our Chief Shepherd. In the book of Matthew 11:30, we are told that
My ways are easy, and my burden is light.
Yah, our Chief Shepherd, knows everything we need and everything we want. It's okay to talk to Yah about how we feel and what our wants, as long as we respect Yah as our Chief Shepherd and not a genie. Unlike a genie, when we go to Yah with our wants, we are to ask Him. What is best for me? What do you want me to have? What do you want me to do? Some may think praying over things we shouldn't have will change them into something we should have. Let's take food for example. Yah tells us sheep not to eat pork. But there are people that would say, just pray over it. Well, Yah's not a genie, and will not go. Wait, let me try it. And change the pork into a plate of veggies. That's not how Yah works.
Yah is not a genie.
I have heard a true story of someone with throat cancer from smoking. They prayed for healing. Well, Yah spoke to the doctor to tell the person to stop smoking.
Paging Dr. Battaglia, call extension 198.
Well, the smoking continued and the person died from throat cancer. This is a true story. Yah is not a genie. But Yah did speak to the person to stop smoking in order to receive that healing. In most cases, there are things we will have to do to be blessed by Yah, our Chief Shepherd. Yah did not go to heal that person. Some may think receiving a lot of money will be a blessing to them. Getting a lot of money other than from Yah is not a blessing and does not make the person better. It only makes it easier for the person to continue doing what they normally do. If a drug addict gets a lump sum of money, the addict will just buy more drugs. A person that gambles will just have more money to gamble.
And they're all inside a box at the moment. The doors are shut, so that's preventing them getting anywhere. And now the doors are open and they're all getting somewhere.
The world teaches us that receiving things is a blessing. Being blessed is to hear the voice of Yah and doing what He instructs us to do.
Oh my God! Oh my God! He's very surprised! Oh my God!
That is a true blessing. Then Yah will give us things. James 4:3 tells us,
You ask and receive not because you ask evilly, in order to spend it on your own pleasures.
Adam and Hawa, Adam and Eve delighted in Yah at first.
As they watched the sun set on their first day of life, Adam and Eve listened to God. One day, Eve was walking through the garden and came near the tree. As she looked at it, a beautiful creature, a serpent, began to talk to her.
Then they delighted in Satan.
Then she took some fruit and bit into it. She picked more and gave it to Adam.
And now, look where we are today.
They would begin to get old and eventually die.
Doing anything outside of Yah's instruction is doing what Satan is instructing. All things are run by Satan, if not run by Yah. Think of that for a moment. So, boys, girls, and parents, Yah tells his sheep to seek Him. Then He will give us all the things we need. He wants us to delight in Him, and then He will put desires in our hearts to things to pray for. We are the little sheep. Yah is our chief shepherd. Do sheep tell the shepherd what they want? Think about that for a second.
I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I'm hungry.
No. The shepherd gives the sheep instructions. Remember the Lamed? The shepherd knows what's best for the sheep and will provide everything the sheep needs. Noah found grace in the sight of Yah. Did Yah go? And there was an ark? No. Noah had to build the ark himself. Yah gave Noah instructions to build it, so that he and his family could be safe. There are usually work we have to do when receiving a blessing. We are attracted to certain things or people, so we need to check those reasons with Yah and not just pray for those things or people. People create their own God who don't know Yah. Money is a god to many people. Look at this dollar. At the top it says, "In God we trust." Money is a god to many people, and this is why some people take their own life when they lose their money. That money was their god. There are many other gods as well. There is only one Yah, our Chief Shepherd, and he is not a genie. I hope you understand, boys and girls, that we are to have a relationship with our Chief Shepherd, Yah, and we are to ask him what he wants for us and from us. We are his, and only he has the true answers. I pray we get something from this lesson and know that
Yah is not a genie.
Remember what? Obey your parents. Hope to see you next time. Bye!
Do not love the world, nor the things in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. My sheep listen to my voice. I know them, and they follow me.